Okay, good morning. Yesterday, last night, this morning, I have completed Big Country Baseball. This is the um, best version of, this is the best baseball game I've ever created, if I do say so myself, which isn't saying much because my last couple of baseball games were not very good. Um, but this is the final advanced version of Baseball Time. Again, called Big Country Baseball because I give you the Big Country universe in this, plus 6 Big Country baseball teams. Of course, you can make your own teams, your own leagues, your own players, and there is a simple off-season funnel. There's a salary cap. So let's take a look at Big Country Baseball. Again, completely free, and 16 pages. So Big Country Baseball with the write-up of the game, an introduction to the game, the Big Country universe recap of what the cities are about, the universe is about, and then our player and team creation. That's a typo, so I'll fix that. That's 6 teams. I don't know why I have 12 there. You now make every starting player, including the starting pitcher, and all 9 represent an inning of play. And you'll roll that player on that inning to see if there are runs scored. The matchup chart now no longer uses an alphabet rating, so players are now rated from 0 to 4, and you match them up, the at-bat versus the current starting pitcher. The bench and the bullpen are only used in extra innings. So basically you have your starting 8 fielders, your ace pitcher, or your single pitcher in this universe, as this is based in, of course, the 1940s. But, it could be, I suppose you could make multiple starting pitchers, but that's not the goal of the game. And then your bullpen and your bench are represented as an abstract number, and they're only used for extra innings. So you need to make 9 starting players and 2 position units. And you roll them on this chart. So starters, you roll a 1d6. Let's say I'm making my first baseman. I call him Jones, and I roll the die, and I get a 1 plus. He's rated Jones, first baseman Jones, 1 plus. He'd be average, but his at-bats are solid. So he's an average player, but can have big days at the plate, can have big at-bats. All right, in your bench and bullpen, you roll this. So you roll for your bench. Let's say I roll a 2. It's a 1. Let's say I roll a 6. My bullpen is fantastic. They're 2 plus, meaning my bullpen adds a chance at extra runs on an extra roll. So plus means there could be a chance that at bat leads to a big inning of runs. That's all that means, right? Okay, so once we've created our team, we get to make one roll, a 1d6 roll. Once every player and unit is completed, we roll one more d6 roll. If I roll a 6, I get to take a plus and add it to any player on my roster. So it's a chance for you to have roll up a couple of pluses, but it's a chance to make, let's say, a superstar a 4 plus, or a chance to make a really good starter a 2 plus, right? Okay. Once we have created all of our players, all we need to do then is put them in their order. Now, once you put them in their batting order, this is the order they must use for the whole season. And then come postseason, you're allowed to change the order one time for the postseason. So the left fielder will represent the first inning of the game, shortstop the second inning of the game, first baseman third inning of the game, right fielder fourth inning of the game, center fielder fifth. So whatever order you want to put your team in, that is the first inning, second inning, third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning. And of course they're all going to match up against the other team's starting pitcher. And then the only time we will use bench for batting and bullpen for pitching is when we make that 10th inning roll, that 11th inning roll, that 12th inning roll. So once we get to extra innings, you're only going to be using the team's bench and bullpen, nothing else. None of these guys now will factor. Okay, and then we add these up. There is a formula for what they cost, and they have to be under $20 or under 20 million or 20,000, whatever you want to set your value to. You can make this millions or K or 18K or whatever. Okay. So this is Porter Bay, Sea Lions. Okay, so now how do we play this game with these fancy players and roster? Well, very simple. We match up your pitcher. So let's say Hetherington is a 2, and Bayside is it's the third inning, and they're facing in the third inning Bayside's third baseman. He's a 3 plus. So we subtract 2 from 4. Remember, a plus will make a guy a full number higher. So we subtract 2 from 4. We're going to get +2. So Bayside's third baseman is batting on the +2 column. We make a d6 roll. Let's say I roll a 3, right, on the +2 column. Well, that's a 0. However, because he is a 3+ player, he gets to make a roll to see if he has a big inning, right? So let's say now I roll. Let's say I roll a 2. That means he scores a 1, 2, or 4 will score extra innings. This idea I got directly from the venerable and fantastic roller derby. So a plus, only a plus player. So if you roll a 0 plus, you don't get to make this roll unless the player is a plus player. Anyway, let's say I roll a 1, that's 1 run. If I roll a 2, it's 2 runs. If I roll a 4, it's a 4-run inning. You can call that a grand slam. This guy nails a grand slam, brings in 4 runs or something like that. Or bats in 4 runners, right? And that's it. That's the inning score. So let's say I roll a 2, and they score 2 that inning. Okay, so anyway, that's how the game works. So every at-bat is an inning, and your pitcher batter. So you can obviously have a star pitcher with a 4 facing a 0 player. That would be a -4. And the only way a guy, 0 player, is going to score on a -4 on a 4 pitcher is if he's a 0+ player. So even a 0+ player could hammer out a fat inning, but it's going to be hard. So it's going to be rare, though. Your star pitchers are going to generally face somebody rated something, right? And remember, a plus counts as a full point, so he's technically a 4 when it comes to the pitcher-batter matchup. There's no half scores, right? And again, the plus sign only comes into play if the player batting has a plus, and then you get a shot at scoring extra runs. Okay, all right. So Big Country Baseball Association, just the write-up of how the 6 teams and how they should play. The schedule will be a best-of-9 schedule against every team in the league. You can make your own teams, your own league, whatever. Anyway, and then I provide what the teams look like. So the Bayside Pirates, their owner, their stadium capacity, plus their left field, center field, and right field depth. So you can get an idea what this stadium might look like, right? The manager's name, and then the starting lineup. Again, first inning will be Cooper with a 3+. So Bayside's opening batter for the game is potentially a beast. He'll be followed up by Martin and Cotton, and then O'Rourke in the 4th spot with a plus, so a chance for big rallies. Archibald is a really good right fielder. Poole, Spanner, Robles, and again, our starting pitcher for these guys is really good. Their bench is horrible, and their bullpen is average. Their salary is only 17. They've got a couple of 3s, and they're only a 17, which is sweet. So they're 3 under the cap, so they're doing all right. Central City Bombers, we got Keenan O'Malley, Stadium Central Memorial Park, and their left field, center, and right field depth. Cal Burton is their manager, and we got Thomas, who is the best shortstop in baseball. We got Jenkins following him, and Bolton with a 2+ for the 3rd inning. Shanley with 1, Norman, Grant, King, Weems. And again, you can put them in any order, but they're locked for the season. This is your 1st inning, 2nd inning, and again, your pitcher bats in the 9th inning. And then if we're going into extra innings, you're going to use bench for batting, bullpen for pitching. And this team, despite having a 4 and a 3, are only 15 cap. We've got Fort Jefferson Yellow Jackets. Dooley Sampson is the owner. Colonial Field, and again, their measurements. I'm the manager. I just put myself. I like to put myself in these big country games. And all of these people are childhood friends. My oldest and closest friends. So we've got Harris at center fielder, Lee at left field. We got Collins at right field. We got Hewlin, rest his soul, at catcher. Greenwald, Walters, Sanchez, Burns, and Beatty and our starting pitcher, and we count up to a $15 team. And then we've got the Grand Bay Bootleggers, Walter Bartram King at WBK Park. Sammy Thumper Johnson is the manager, and then we've got a solid team here again with Dennison, Markwell, O'Leary, Gustafson, Poole, Anderson, Turner, Hill, and the best starting pitcher in baseball with a 4. again, a bullpen that can score extra runs. So what would happen, although your bench does your batting, if you happen to roll a plus, the bullpen would get that means the whatever pitcher is in the game for the bullpen would have a chance to score. So you could have a bullpen pitcher bring in extra runs, which could be fun, right? So the plus counts. The bench is the score, but the plus would automatically play in there, meaning your pitcher in the extra innings would get a big at bat. Salary 17, despite having the best pitcher in baseball. Porter Bay Sea Lions owner Franklin Rothwell, Stadium Darkwater Park, manager Ulvik Racheks. Again, Jones, Williams, Rames, Watson, Gray, Boone, Mooney, and Hetherington. These are the sample. This is the sample team that's further in the book, up at the top of the book. So this is the same team brought down. And a good bench, good bullpen. They're 18. And then last but not least in this small league is the Springfield Sharecroppers, owner Jack Powell II, Vergate Park, and a huge field. So you can imagine there's going to be a lot of infield, second, doubles, triples, etc. And their manager is Gordon Stinkfoot. Johnson, Daniels, Andrews, Carter is the best player in the entire league at a 4+. Williams, Garrett, but there's a price to pay. They don't have other. They have a couple of really bad, warm body guys. They're called. These guys are just better. They're warm bodies. Erickson, Alberts, and Hamilton, a brilliant starting pitcher, and then their bullpen is amazing. Is they're going to give the best pitching staff. So this is by far the best staff in baseball with the best player in baseball, and their bullpen can produce runs in extra innings, and they still only tally out $18 million. And then we have our offseason funnel. If your team is 500 or losing, you put them through this chart, one roll, and this changes directly. So for instance, let's say Springfield Springfield has a 500 season. I don't know how, but let's say they do, and I roll this chart, and I happen to roll a 13. Starting pitcher becomes a 0. That means Hamilton regresses to a 0, or you could put in a new pitcher and say Hamilton retired or Hamilton left or something. You could, if you don't want to ruin Hamilton's reputation, you could literally put in Jenkins 0, and just state that Hamilton is injured for the year, or Hamilton goes to another team or whatever. Or you can reduce Hamilton to a 0, reflecting he's going to have a bad second season, right? And that's it. That's the only role this team suffers. And if you're a winning team, you're going to roll this chart to affect your team. And that's it. That is Big Country Baseball. This replaces Baseball Time in the folder. So there is no other baseball game available now. This is the baseball game. I will probably put this in a comic book form on Lulu as well for those who would like to own this in a nice little 16-page comic with a beautiful cover, or a nice cover. I can't claim beautiful, but a decent cover. I've also done this with soccer. By the way, for those who are watching, let me go back. Baseball, soccer. I went through and finished the beta and rewrote. So those who might have grabbed this file yesterday, there was a couple typos I corrected in this file, and I went ahead and added to the file the financial off-season stuff. So this stuff was in a separate. The financial off-season stuff was in a separate document. I've now removed that document, and now a Big Country Soccer Time off-season module is now in the full book, which is, I don't know how many pages this thing is, but it's in a full book, 19 pages, and I corrected a couple of typos that were in the beta document. And there you have it. So soccer, Big Country Soccer Time, done, and Big Country Baseball Time. Let's see, let's go find that again. Big Country Baseball. So baseball time's right here, Big Country Baseball, and Big Country Baseball PDF right here. They are done. These are the most advanced. So the Big Country Time games are the most advanced versions of the Time Series games, right? So there you have it, folks. And this is great fun. It is the playtesting for this yesterday and this morning was fantastic early this morning, and I went ahead and finished typing it up and double checking everything, and I believe it's good to go. I did see a typo in here somewhere. I don't know where the heck I saw that. Shoot. Oh, the 12 teams. Yeah, it's a 6 team. It's a 6 team. I need to fix that. All right. Anyway, everybody out there have a wonderful weekend. I've got one game left that I'm going to revamp, and that's Big Country Hockey Time. There is hockey time. Our hockey is already fantastic, but I've in making these subtle changes to give the games more depth, yet not make them longer and duller, but keeping them quick and fast and dirty. I have gone through and brought all these up to a higher depth. So now you can have superstars, and you can actually track some semblance of your stars and your stinkers, etc. So I'm going to do a Big Country revamp of Hockey Time as well, and I'm not yet certain if I'm going to do full rosters. I'm tempted to do something like this where you'll literally have your 15. You'll have your 9 skaters. Excuse me. You'll have your 15 skaters and your 2 goalies, right? And they would be rated. And then you set your own lines, so you could literally lock down your first line, second line, third line, and your starting goalie. And they would all, of course, rate out for the charts. So, but I haven't decided yet how I want to do Hockey Time, so it's going to be a little longer. I've been working on Baseball Time for months. Those who have seen my original Baseball Time was crap. It just wasn't very deep. It wasn't very good. It was fast and it produced fun scores, but there was just nothing much to it. And this, I think, is much more interesting, especially with the cap. And anyway, there you have it, folks. So enjoy. Again, it's completely free. It doesn't mean I won't probably publish this in a Lulu book for those who want to own a nice hard copy published. Soccer is already available on Lulu. If somebody wants to own the comic book Soccer Time, but if not, they're still here as free downloads. So, all right, bye bye.